Hello darlings, for today's video I'll be doing an in-depth step-by-step tutorial on how to create this eye look. I'm using the Morphe James Charles palette today, but first things first, I'm filling in my brows with the Anastasia Brow Wiz in dark brown. This is my favorite product for my brows, and I actually just had to pick a new one up because I ran out of my last one. It's quite easy to fill in your brows using a pencil. Just line the bottom and top edges, darken the tail end, and then brush it out with a spoolie. I'm going to be using the Plouise base in 0.5 as my eyeshadow primer, so I'm also using it to carve out the bottom edge of my brow so that it's nice and defined. I'm then carving out the top edge of my brow with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. I don't really care for this concealer for under my eyes, so I'm just trying to get some use out of it and not be wasteful, so that's why I'm using it to carve out the top edge. You can use any concealer really. I either use this one or the Revolution one because they're not so heavy and they blend into the foundation really well. Once I finish my brows, I'm tapping on some Plouise base to my eyelid. If you didn't already know, eyeshadow primer is essentially used for creating a blank canvas. It helps to cover up any discoloration and also improves the blendability and vibrancy of the eyeshadow. This base doesn't need to be set with any powder, so I'm going right in and applying the matte purple shade called Single to my crease using the JH33 brush. Since I have hooded eyes, I'm bringing this up a little higher than my natural crease so that when I cut the crease, you'll still be able to see it. And because I'm going to be creating a full cut crease, I'm mapping out the shape by sweeping this out towards my temples. I'm picking up the matte neon pink shade called Skip with the JH31 brush and applying this along the edge of the purple shade to blend it out. As you can see, I'm basically just swiping the brush back and forth to blend the two together. Now I'm applying the matte neon orange shade called 518 and sweeping this along the edge of the pink to further my blend. I definitely recommend starting from darkest to lightest when it comes to layering colorful shadows. Not only is it easier to blend, but it also avoids them from looking muddy. The last shade in my blend is the matte bright yellow shade called B, and I'm applying this along the edge of the orange, making this yellow shade the closest to my brow. Now that I've applied all of these shades once, I like to go back and apply them all over again so that they appear more vibrant. Since the pink shade is in the middle, it tends to get lost more than the others, so I'm applying another round of pink, and then I'm also adding some more purple so that when I cut the crease, the edge will be really contrasted against the darkness of the purple. Now to cut the crease, I'm using the Morphe JH42 brush and the Plouise base, which is my absolute favorite combination for cutting the crease. The brush is extremely small and flat, allowing me to be really precise. Keep in mind I have hooded eyes, so I'm applying this slightly higher than my natural crease so that it will be visible when looking forward naturally. To make things easier, I already have a bit of a shape to follow because of the way I applied my eyeshadow, so I'm simply stamping the product along the bottom edge of the purple. I'm following the shape of my natural crease, and since it's a full cut crease, I'm extending it out towards my temple. Sometimes the Plouise base will mix with the eyeshadow and become discolored, so I'm quickly taking a Q-tip and some makeup remover and carefully removing as much of the Plouise base as possible. I'm then tapping on some more base so that I have a nice clean canvas to work with once again. Now for the most tedious part of the look, creating the negative space and halo effect. I've cleaned off the JH42 brush and am using it to apply the same shadows, excluding the yellow, to my lid space. First, I'm packing the purple shade onto the inner and outer edge of the eye. For the inner edge, I'm connecting the purple to my inner corner and stopping once I get to my iris. For the outer edge, I'm following the same shape I did in the crease and winging it out towards my temple. In order to create the negative space, I'm not applying the shadow all the way up to the cut in the crease, but rather keeping a space in between the two, making sure that it's the same width from start to finish. Next, I'm packing the pink shade onto the edges of the purple that are closest to the center of the lid, being careful to keep the same distance in between this shadow and the cut in the crease so that the width of the negative space is the same throughout. Finally, I'm finishing the halo effect by adding the orange onto the center of the lid. I'm also flipping the brush over to blend the orange into the pink and then packing on a bit more pink. To blend the pink with the purple, I'm gently sweeping the Morphe JH40 brush between the two. Now for glitter, I'm using the Lancome Sparkling Touch Glitter in hologram and adhering it to the very center of the orange on the lid space with some clear lash glue by House of Lashes. I'm just applying the glitter with a cheap brush from Amazon and tapping it on slowly as to not make a mess. I'm now using the NYC liquid eyeliner to create some winged liner. I start by dragging a small line out from the outer corner of my eye, and then I place the brush about as far out as the tail of my brow and drag a line in, connecting it to the outer corner and lash line. I don't have a lot of lid space, so I keep everything thin and line my lash line, and then work on perfecting it so that it flows smoothly. I have a little bit of fallout, mostly from the glitter, so I'm cleaning that up with a makeup wipe, and then I'm sharpening the wing with some concealer. To do this, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer because I'm also going to be using it under my eyes. I'm just taking the JH43 brush and applying a bit of the concealer onto the lower edge of the wing and swiping in the direction of my temples, following the angle that I created for the cut crease. This also acts as a barrier so that you can easily lengthen the end of your wing and avoid going near it when applying face makeup. Now it's time to prep my lashes before applying false ones. I'm curling them using the Kevyn Aucoin lash curler and then popping on some Buxom Blackest Black mascara. Today I'm using the Rios Beauty lashes in the style Toujours and also trying out this new applicator that just launched March 13th called the Lash Binder. This is the first time I'm using the lash binder, and I have to say that it makes applying lashes 10 times easier. I've included a link in my description box for any of you that may be interested in checking it out. Now that I've applied my face makeup off camera, it's time to work on my lower lash line. Basically, I'm applying the same sequence of shades going from darkest to lightest in a halo effect. So that being said, I'm applying the purple to the inner and outer corner, the pink inside of that, and then the orange in the center. I'm also adding just a tiny bit of glitter to the center of the orange, and then using the nikkietutorials Glazed Donut Highlighter collab with Ofra for my inner corner and brow bone. Now for the finishing touches, I'm applying the No Intense Look eye pencil to my tight line and the automatic highlighter pencil to my waterline, and finally applying some mascara to my lower lashes. And that completes this double cut crease with negative space and halo effect eye look. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time!